Okay, first of all, let us define what is a functional group. Functional group is an atom or group of atoms in an organic molecule which characterized by the molecule and enables it to react in a specific way. Okay, so thus it is the functional group that is the one that is determines the chemical properties. Okay, second, states the functional group of the class of compounds. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay, so in this we have homologous series. Okay, remember that they are the same, but the way we name it is different. Okay, homologous series and functional group. Okay, for example, I use alkene. Okay, alkene, we know it has carbon CC double bond. But for functional group, we name it as carbon-carbon double bond, not alkene. For homologous series, we name it as alkene. Okay. Then we also have alkyne, carbon-carbon triple bond. Now let's look at this, what is special about this. Okay, I want to highlight on arene and phenol. Okay, for homologous series arene and phenol, both of them contain benzene ring. Benzene ring is the name of the functional group. Okay, phenol, if we mention about phenol, if homologous series, it is referring to the whole thing here. But if we are referring to the functional group, then we have to break up both of them. One is benzene ring, another one is hydroxyl. Okay, then we go for another one. Okay, in this slide, okay, you can notice that there are C double bond O, C double bond O, C double bond O, C double bond O, and C double bond O. Looks like they have the same thing, but they are actually not the same. They have different functional group. They also have different name. Okay, now let us look at what is the difference between all of them. Okay, as we can see here, there are two functional group that has the same name, that is carbonyl. Okay, it is aldehyde and ketone. They have the same functional group, that is C double bond O. Okay, but what makes the homologous series different? That is the hydrogen attached to the carbonyl group. If for ketone, it cannot be hydrogen attached to the carbonyl group. It must be in between at least 3 carbon. Okay, another one, we have carboxylic acid. We name it as carboxyl, where the C double bond O is attached with OH. Okay, but when we circle it the whole thing. Okay, we circle carboxyl group, C double bond O and OH. Okay, now another one that you are familiar with, that is ester. Okay, ester, the name is carboalkoxy, the functional group name. Okay, then and so you have to circle C double bond OO. Okay, what is the difference between carboxylic acid and ester? Okay, as you can see here, the double bond O is attached to OH for carboxylic acid. For ester, it must be attached to alkyl group. Okay, it can be CH2, CH3 or whatever it is, but it cannot be OH. Okay. Then acyl chloride, the C double bond O attached with chlorine. Okay, now another one, anhydride. Okay, I want to emphasize on amide, amine. Okay, amine, homologous series, but the name of functional group is amino. Okay, amide, it is carboxamide. Okay, what is the difference? If amine, there's only nitrogen. Beside it, there is no C double bond O. Okay, but for carboxamide or amide, next to nitrogen, there must be a carbonyl group. Therefore, we name it as carboxamide, such as this example. But we do not name it as carbonyl. Okay, another one is nitrile. Nitrile is carbon triple bond with nitrogen. The functional group name is cyno. Okay, now our next assignment is to identify functional groups in a given compound. Okay, first of all, circle name and circle functional group. Okay, for example, I give phenol. Okay, so I have to circle. Let's use highlight. Okay, so for functional group, I must circle the benzene ring and the hydroxyl. Okay, so it's hydroxyl and benzene ring. We do not name it as alcohol or the homologous series. Another one is we also will not put it as phenol because phenol is the homologous series. If I want to label it, I will circle it the whole thing, OH together with the benzene ring. Okay, now let's look at another one. Okay, the second one, beside here, there's no nitrogen, there's no oxygen. Okay, so we will just use circle C double bond O. So the name is carbonyl, not ketone. Although the carbonyl C double bond O is in between 3 carbon. Okay, but if I want to name the homologous series, it is ketone. And then when I circle, I have to circle 3 carbon with carbonyl group. Okay, now next one, the answer is still the same. The functional group, it is still C double bond O, not with H. Okay, however, it is not aldehyde because we just want to name the functional group. If it's homologous series, then we have to circle C double bond O and hydrogen. So you can see ketone and aldehyde, they are different homologous series, but they have same functional group. Okay, so that's all for this part.